Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at Injective Protocol. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Okay, before we get into the minor counting, we're just going to go over the two ways that we are looking at this, both our bullish and our bearish option. So within the bullish option here, effectively what we are saying is that this move to the downside is a completed correction into this low here, and we're looking for the potential of a 5-wave move to the upside. Now within this count, effectively what we'd be looking for is a extension to the upside where this becomes either 1 2 1 2, or alternatively what we have here is that this is 1 2 3 4 and 5 completed with an extension in the wave 1. Now if this is the case, what we'd be looking for is a deeper retracement, potentially looking to come back down here towards this 0.382 to the 786 area. So we need to be on the lookout here that we could start to see some downward price action looking to come back into some of these lower levels. Alternatively here, we could also have the fact that we could be looking for an extension in the last wave here, where what we'd be saying is that this move here is looking to extend, and we're going to be seeing a bigger 5-wave move coming off the back of this, where in this case what we'd be saying is that this is 1 2, another 1 2, and effectively looking for that bigger third wave. So we're going to be talking about these two different ways of looking at the structure. Now, we do also have a bearish scenario where we could be looking at this as a B wave to the upside. Now, within that bearish scenario, what we'd be saying is that this move to the downside is just an A wave. We're looking at this just as a B wave to the upside, and we could potentially look to push up a little bit higher within this count. Now, the common rejection area here is this 854 to this 50%, so we're well already into this area. We've come up to the 702 twice now. Now if we do look to push up higher, we'll be keeping an eye out on this area here of this $13 and this $16 respectively. Now these would be interesting areas because we'd be coming back into some of these highs, and I'd be looking for that possibility of a continuation to the downside afterwards. Now within this count, what we'd be saying is we're still looking for a C wave to the downside, so we'd be looking for a 5-wave move looking to start to play out to the downside after completion of this B wave to the upside. So we need to be careful that if we start to get 5-wave structure down, we could start to form a bigger 5-wave move like this, looking to actually come back down here and sweep these lows. Now I'd like to see at least a break of the A wave here, in which case we could potentially be looking for targets somewhere here between the 786 and this 1-to-1 area. So need to just be on the lookout for that. Now, it is also possible that within this B wave, we could still have another leg up here where we look at this as W, this is X, and this is A, B, and C for a Y wave. Now, if this is the case, what we'd be looking for is a C wave to the upside from where we currently are. Now, our 1-to-1 for our C wave would be up here towards this $18. And what we'd be looking for effectively here would be a 3-wave move to the upside, not looking to cross this 1618 area here of this $21. If we do see this actually develop as a 5-wave move to the upside, we need to be cautious because this could actually then confirm the end of this structure and could look to push us up into these highs here that we discussed earlier before looking for that bigger C wave to the downside. So we're going to have to be very savvy about how we count this as the waves progress here. Now it is also possible that within this structure we could be still within the B wave, and we're going to go over that in a second. We're going to just cover that bullish count first, and then we're going to come into the lower degree counts for this more bearish case. So like I said, within that bullish idea, if we have this move from these lows here as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, then potentially this could actually be looking to complete. Now, I would have liked to have seen this 0.382 get hit, but we didn't quite reach this area. Now, it is possible that because this wave 1 was extended, there's just not enough energy within this wave 3 and this wave 5 to get us up into these levels. What I would be looking out for here is a bigger 3-wave move to the downside now, where we start to form something like a bigger A, B, and a C pattern. Now, if this is the case, I would be looking to potentially target out this area here of this wave 2. Now, if we do look to actually come back down into this zone, this would be between this 0.382 and this 0.5. So that would be this $4.47 to this $3.50. If, however, we just see a smaller move down here towards this wave 4 area, and then we actually start to reverse to the upside here, then it's possible that we could still either have that C wave to play out, or alternatively, we are looking at this as just having a really shallow retracement here and then looking for that continuation. Though it wouldn't be my primary expectation to see such a shallow wave 2. We'd typically like to see this be a bit larger, at least towards this 382 level, though sometimes we can actually see these develop towards a 236, which is up in these zones. So We need to just be on the lookout for this. If we just get 3 waves to the downside here and we start to form bigger impulsive structure, we could be looking for that continuation directly up. Now, if we are looking at this in the other count, like I said, potentially we could have this as 1 2 1 2, and then we'd be looking for this as another 1 2. So we're going to come in here and discuss this idea of this move actually looking to extend. So coming in here, what we can see is that we can potentially count this as 5 waves to the upside, where this becomes 1 2, this will becomes 3, we have 4th wave as a triangle, and a 5th wave to the upside. Now, if this is the case, we have a 5-wave move here, which could look to complete. Now, this wave could be a C wave or an A wave or a wave 1. Now, if this is an A wave or a wave 1, what we'd be looking for then would be a 3-wave move, looking to move back down into the zone of the $7.50 to this lower area here of the $6.21. Now, if we are looking at this, what we'd be saying is that this move in here is potentially 1 2 3 4, and we're looking for this 5th wave to the downside. I wouldn't say that this 5th wave is completed yet. What I would be saying here is that this could be potentially 1 2 3, and we're looking for this 4th wave still. So this 4th wave could potentially complete over here, in which case what we're looking for is a lower target of this $7.36 to the $7.11, and then we'd be looking for this 5-wave move to actually move back up and break this wave 4. Until we do that, we'd have to be careful, because if we start to get a 5-wave move down, if we just see a smaller 3-wave move up that fails to take this high, we could start to get extension within this move, and we could see this looking to break down deeper. So that'll be our key thing here. If we do get a 5-wave move that breaks down into this white target box, I want to see this previous 4th wave getting broken, and then we'd be looking for the possibility that in this case, what we would have is that this move would then be an A wave. We'd look for a 3-wave move back to the upside, and then we'd look for a continuation to the downside. So that would look something along these lines, where effectively here what we'd be saying is that this whole move is going to be an A wave. We're going to be looking for this B wave back to the upside here, and then the C wave down. Now, if we do look to complete in that target box, what we could then see is 3 waves back up towards us, $9.24 to this $8.47, and then we'd be looking for another 5-wave move to the downside. If we do look to find support in this area here of the $7.50 to the $6.21, this would give us the potential that we could see price looking to push to the upside for an impulse. Now, if we are looking at this idea of an impulse to the upside, if we did have to come down towards this 1-to-1, and this played out exactly as I have it marked out here, we'd have to then move up past this 1764 for more confirmation that this move is completed. If we do see a move in this way where we get a push up here for this, we would then be looking for an additional 4th and a 5th, and then we'd have to be on the lookout from further back here that, you know, this is potentially 1 2. This would all become a bigger 3rd wave, and then we'd actually be extending out even further. So that's going to be the most important thing here. We'll need to see what happens with after this 5-wave move. If we just develop this as 5 waves down, 3 waves up, and get another 5-wave move to the downside, which stops towards this zone of this 1-to-1, potentially then we can look for that continuation. If, however, we start to see a move down here where we get 5 waves, we come back up for 3, and then we come back down towards this 1618 level here, which is sitting at this 564, we'd have to be very careful of the fact that this could actually be extending, in which case this would become 1 2 3 4, and then we'd be looking for a 5th wave potentially down here towards this 542 to this $5.08. Now, if we do see a move down in this way, potentially what we could have here is that this move could be A, B, and C, and then we could look for a reversal up. But until we actually break this high, we'd have to be careful that this could also just be A, we get B, and then we get a C. Now, that would align with the other count that this is an extension, where we're saying here that what we have is this move is completed. And if we had to see something like a 5-wave structure down, 3 waves up, another 5-wave move down, this would be potentially looking to bring us back down here towards the 618 to the 786. And this would be an interesting zone because of some of these lows that are in this place here, and a retest of some of the structure over here on the left hand side. So we'll be keeping an eye on that if we do start to break down more impulsively. But as long as we hold that higher support zone, we could look to potentially continue to the upside. Now, within the other count here, we were saying that effectively we could have this as an incomplete wave here, where this is an A, a B, and then we're looking for that C wave to the upside here. What we could get is that if we do get a 5-wave move down here, this would actually align with the idea of this move being a bigger A, B, and a C pattern. So If we are looking at this idea of this being a bigger flat correction here, where we've had 3 waves to the downside, 3 waves to the upside, which broke this A wave high, what we would then be looking for is the potential to see this move break back down here. Now, I'd be looking out for this 1-to-1, which is here at this 5555. And then lower down here, we do also have this target area of this 484 to this 388 as a potential zone to look for as a possible extension here, where this could be an expanding flat. Now, that would align with coming back down here into this golden pocket, which would be towards this $4.18 to this $4 area. So going to be watching out for that possibility that if we do see price looking to continue to the downside here and push into these zones, we could look for a retest of this channel, as well as looking for some of these lower levels. So this is why it's going to be very important here. You know, if we do continue to follow this 5-wave sequence here and we get a push down, we're going to have to watch the retracement up. If it's in 3 waves, that's going to give us that potential to have another 5-wave move. If that 5-wave move hits at 1618, then it's going to be likely that this whole structure here is a 5-wave move. Now, if we do get a 5-wave move down, it's going to be one of 2 things. Either this is A, B, and C, and then we're going to reverse to the upside for this yellow C wave over here, or alternatively, what we are going to get is that this 5-wave move is going to be an A wave, we're going to see a B wave, and then we're going to see that continuation down in a C wave or a wave 3. We'd have to wait and see exactly how that develops. So like I said, in the immediate short term here, until we actually break back above this high of this $9.87, we have to be careful that this move is not going to continue to extend. Like I said, at the moment, the way I'm looking at this is as 1, 2, 3. Looking for this as a 4th and a 5th wave. If we continue to break down directly here, I will be looking for this zone here of this 736 to this 711 area, and then looking for that potential of a bounce back to the upside. If, however, what we see here is that this move moves through this zone, we'd have to be on the lookout for the possibility of an extension as 1212, but this would only be confirmed by a much deeper move to the downside. And if we do get this 5-wave move down here, we're going to see how we react to the upside. 3 waves up, looking for that continuation to the downside then. If we, however, start to break back above this $8.69, this would then mean that we have invalidated this idea of this being a 3rd wave, getting a 4th wave, because we're not allowed to cross this wave 1 low here. And what we'd be looking for is that continuation to the downside until we actually do so. If we do see this as A, this is B, and then we get C up here, what we could see is that this could actually develop as a 5-wave move. 1-to-1 target is here at this 829. If, however, we hold this low here and we start to see a bigger move to the upside here, which we hit this 1618, which would be this $8.79. First off, that would invalidate this idea here that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then what this would also do is tell us that we have the potential that this could be 1, 2, 3. And then we'd have to see whether we develop that 4th and a 5th wave to the upside. Once again, we aren't allowed to interact with this wave 1 area. So it'll be important to see how things progress moving forward here. At the moment, I am thinking it's more likely that we're going to see a little bit more of a push to the downside. And then from there, it's going to be important what happens next. If we then just get a 3-wave move up, can't break past this 924, then the likelihood is we're going to see that continuation down. Coming over here and having a look at the daily CPR lines, what we can see is that we have printed a lower CPR. It is also very tightly spread. So this is indicating that we could potentially see a breakout or a breakdown. Now, if we see something like this where we maintain above these central CPR lines, what we could see is price action could actually be gravitated towards this $7.87. We have this $8.04. Other targets to the upside would be this 820 and this 837 for today. If, however, we start to lose these central CPR lines and we do look to move to the downside, what we could see is price could actually be gravitated towards this 754. We have this level here of this 738, 721, and this 704 for today. Now, if we do look at the weekly CPR lines here, what we can see is that we are currently underneath our central CPR lines. Now, once again, these are also indicating volatility because they are very tightly spread. Now, with this idea here, what I want to see is if we are looking for that idea of moving back to the upside here and looking to extend to the upside, what we would need to get is back above this 789 level. If we fail to do so, the likelihood is then that we're going to see price get gravitated towards this 752. Now, this would align with the idea here that we could still be looking for a bit more downside here. where potentially we could have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Now, if we do look to push down to this zone, this could align with that 5th wave looking to come in. Alternatively, if we do extend to the downside this week, other targets would be this 715 and this 678 level. If, however, we do see price looking to move back to the upside here, we've managed to reclaim these levels. Targets to the upside could be this 826, 865, and $9 for this week. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on those levels. If we do see price look to push back to the upside here, potentially we could look to hit some of those zones. Now, moving over here and having a look at the monthly CPR lines, what we can see here is that these CPR lines have actually printed higher than the previous month. So this is giving us an initial bullish bias, but we have to see whether price action is going to confirm this or reject this. We have actually moved up into this zone twice now and rejected to the downside. If we see this start to fall away from here, then potentially what we could see is a move down towards the $7. Other targets to the downside for this month would be the 616, and then we have this lower one here towards this area of this $4.71. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that lower zone if we're looking at this as a bigger ABC pattern looking to play out to the downside. If, however, we see price come back to the upside here, we can potentially find resistance between this 817, 846, and this 788. If, however, we see price starting to break through these, starting to find support on these levels and looking to push to the upside here, then potential targets for this month become this 932. We have this 1078 and this 1162 as potential upside targets for this month. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you will find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.